Any minute now to get started. Oh, there it goes. All right. Hi. Photorealistic moon. I don't know why you would need a photorealistic moon rigged. I guess it can spin? Hi. Welcome, everybody. I'm also not late tonight, Marie. A boom. It is 8 o'clock on the dot. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, King. So, there. So many dots. Thank you, love is all you need, 13. If I'm on time, then I'm early, is more accurate. Thank you, Megan, for the tier 3 sub. Well, I can't claim credit for the tiny briefcase. It arrived at the office, and I'm sad because Skulls took the time to make one, and it didn't get here in time because I had thank you, Insane Gigawatt. So I'll be doing something fun with that eventually once it gets here. But the little briefcase that I had arrived at the office and was perfect to the task. But someone said, like, hey, I just thought it'd be easier to send this to you rather than they use Anatos, then send you a link, but they didn't put their name. So whoever sent it, it was spot on. That's why I didn't look past that because it arrived. I was like, oh, well, this is perfect. Thank you, Sil Volps. Thank you, HFX. Thank you, A Space Fox. So whoever that was, please step forward. Thank you, Desty. Thank you, Methodics, for the tier 2. It was my cat. Oh, I guess lots of people could have done it. In the Discord, someone mentioned it. Whoever it was, they did great. It was spot on, perfect. I do have more pictures of it. So I was documenting as I was going, and not to rip back the curtain of willing deception here, but thank you, Song Lover, thank you, Shadow, thank you, Steffers, thank you, Second Alarm, thank you, Gin and Genomics, and Sherry Fairy. So I got up this morning, I put it in the briefcase, and I put a suit on to do it, because you gotta look right when you're carrying a briefcase of money. And so I took it to him, and we'll get to that in a minute, but the whole idea was, all right, well, I'll just go back and then shoot all the gearing up part of it after, because it was early in the morning. I had to be there at 9 o'clock. And then I let them have the tiny briefcase. So they have the tiny briefcase, and I don't have it to do the gearing up part of the shoots that I was gonna do. I do have I could do the rest of it. I didn't forget it. They were like, would you like this back? And I was like, well, if you guys would like it, then by all means, because I was willing to give them anything for being such lovely people. And they seemed interested in keeping it, so I said, all right, please take it. That's true. When Skull's briefcase gets here, I can certainly use that one. It comes with tiny handcuffs. So, thank you, Darian. Darian, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It was perfect. Spot on. I was also thinking about I could just buy another one for myself to use for those parts of the shoots. Thank you, the Gamer Lucas. Thank you, Ben. Hi. Thank you, Maniacal Queen. Abandoned Jeremy. Suck it, Jeremy. Thank you, Astrocore. 35 babysitters so far they've had to be taught to clean a lint screen, not to flush, taking out trash. Wow, what a time you're having! You just really introduced them to what being in the world is all about, Astrocore. Thank you, Song Lover. Countdown the days left of work, and it's down to 8. Got any advice for a soon-to-be college sophomore? Anything related to anxiety? Super excited for this week's Minecraft. anxiety comes from so many different places. It's really hard to give general advice on that, um, especially when it comes to college, because everybody's approach to schooling is so different. I was a very indifferent student, so it's hard for me to really directly address uh, uh, anxiety based on school. Thank you, Icy Wolf. Thank you, Your Dark Fear. Um, Thank you, Megan. You can defend his honor. That's fine. Thank you, Scarlet Beta. But I think honestly, you got to figure out, yeah, what the best, what specifically about classes is causing the anxiety. Is it concern about studying for tests? Is it getting your homework done? Is it showing up to classes? I mean, if you break it down into individual things and figure out where the source of your anxiety is from, then you can help plan to counter that anxiety by scheduling and by making sure that you have a plan for preparing for things. So that's usually, if I'm anxious about something, that's my main focus, is just to throw a plan at it. Anything you can wrap a plan around, then it's expected. There was a great monologue from a movie that basically said exactly that. Essentially being that, like, as long as it's part of the plan, then no one bats an eye, right? So if you can take your anxiety and wrap a plan around it, then all of a sudden, whatever happens, as long as it's on the plan, yeah, maybe is that Dark Knight? It does seem like it'd be a Dark Knight thing, but you just gotta, even if it's coming from the Joker. Thank you, Sorcerer. Been a while. RTX busy and haven't been able to pop in. I did have a good vacation. Thank you, and thanks for dropping by. Thank you, Ecolise. My work during your stream's been so long. Welcome back. Thank you, Alterin. I appreciate that. Thank you, Captain Plowder Mom. Got it. Thank you, Darian. So an ad played right when you saw my last year. Oh, I hear what you said later. I said basically, no, you don't send another briefcase. The link would be great in case I, using skulls, I think, would be a great way to tie that in. So, honestly, maybe we'll just stick with, I'll use skulls for the gearing up thing when it gets here, which I think it gets here like tomorrow or the next day, so it should be soon. Then I'll have to edit all that together and make it into some kind of viewable video, which I'm probably going to suck at, because I'm just not. I didn't wrap my head around the concept. I walked in there. I was going to do all the before stuff. Before I went in, I sat in the car and recorded a thing. I was going to just record something when I came out, and not subject them to me going in there with a camera. So I walk in the door, I'm like, hey, and they were like, oh, are you Ryan? I was like, yeah, and they said, so do you want to record this? I was like, I wasn't gonna mess with you. Like, I don't want to subject you guys to being recorded or anything. They were like, oh, we're perfectly fine. We're happy to do it, and if you would, we'd love for you to do whatever you want. I'm like, okay. So I go back out to my car. I left my phone in the car. So I go back out and get it. I come back in recording. And the whole team there, including the director, was there waiting for me when I came back in. And I gave him the donation and whatnot. And honestly, just the loveliest people, all of them. I hadn't really expected him, and I'll say thank you to everybody that's going by here in just a second. I hadn't really. Yeah, it was a little bit of like a, oh, hello, I just arrived and hadn't talked to you before. But just the loveliest people. They'd taken the time to actually find the stream. Because when I talked to them before, it was just like, yeah, my name's Ryan Haywood, and I raised some money on a stream. So they'd actually taken the time to find the streams, the archives of them, where I'd done the whole thing. And we're like, oh, yeah, that hot sauce stuff must have been rough. I was like, yeah, it was, thanks. It's one of those situations where, and they followed me on Twitter and everything. That's how they saw the tweet earlier. But when you go into a situation where you're donating money or going to interact with a charity, you really want to come away with it going like, those are just awesome people. It's nothing would be worse than going in there. It's like meeting your heroes kind of thing. If you meet them and they're just like a jerk, then you're like, well, that's disappointing. And they could not have been lovelier. Every one of them was just so wonderful, very appreciative. When as proud as I'm incredibly proud of what we raised. It's $15,000 is to me and to us is a lot of money. In my mind though, I was thinking to our organization as big as the American Cancer Society, $15,000 is just a tiny little bit, and they need like big money. Like they got to be seeing money come in that's like in the millions. But honestly, they just were so incredibly appreciative. $15,000 is big money, but to an organization the size of the American Cancer Society, not to denigrate our accomplishment, because that was huge, but they need so much to operate. Though Jeff really put it in perspective for me quite well, where he was like, well, yeah, they probably get a lot of like big money donations coming in. The people, they'll get millions in some goes. But that usually doesn't walk into the local office. Normally that's the kind of thing that would happen at like a dinner, or like a banquet, or someone writes a big money check and hands it to so no one sees it. 15 grand walking in the door at an office is probably a pretty rare occurrence. And yeah, they were so incredible. Honestly, I wish I'd recorded more of what they were saying, because they were very thankful to me, but incredibly thankful to you guys specifically, and had nothing but glowing things to say about what wonderful people you were and how much your contribution meant. Your contribution. They were thankful for me for doing the platform, but they were really thankful to you guys for contributing the hard work and money behind it. So it was they, like I said, just nothing but glowing things to say about you. I can not say enough good things about them. They were truly amazing people. Hopefully we will I'll get a all right, that was Livy was calling for me. I think she figured it out. Okay, hold on, let me catch up here. But yeah, no, again, it all went very well. They laughed at my tiny briefcase and the cash, which it occurred to me afterwards, but I felt kind of bad that I showed up with. In my head, it was like, oh, cool. It was of one of those full, like, you see on movies, stacks of hundreds is $10,000, and then a half stack for $5,000. They put the little wraps on them at the bank and everything. But then it occurred to me, it's like, well, okay, so that's cool and all, but what I've really done there is make it so that someone now has to take those apart and count them. Now, granted, it's in hundreds, but it's still 150 hundreds. So, whoops. Someone has to count out 150 bills because of my little stunt. But you know what? It's not that bad. It's for a good cause. I feel like a big shot holding them. Honestly, I felt incredibly paranoid holding them. I was like, the second I went to the bank, and they didn't really blink an eye at me asking for $15,000 out of my account. They were like, all right, sure, whatever. You want cash? I'm like, okay. They're like, you sure you don't want it in a check? I'm like, well, I know that's more secure, but nah, I just want a big stack of money, if that's cool. They were like, okay. And so the second I laid hands on it, they put it in little paper envelopes for me. And then I was like, the world's looking at me. Everyone knows. Everyone knows I have this money. And so I ran back to my car with it. I put it in the briefcase, which I had. And I put the briefcase like under the car seat. And got home, immediately put it in the safe. Thank you, Billy. And like I said, I'll catch up on all these thank yous in just a second. That's why I didn't like. I know generally people knew when I was making the donation, but I didn't say like I have the money now because I was way too paranoid. So it was like I'm only showing this money off after it is out of my hands. I don't want anyone to know that it's in my possession until it is no longer in my possession. So I took pictures of it, and I have pictures of it, and that'll all be in the video and stuff. But now it is out of my hands, so please don't rob me. I don't have the money. It's gone. But I was incredibly paranoid the whole time I was handling it. It was just like, I didn't feel like a big shot. I felt like my precious. Livy thought it was amazing, though. She just started going, dollars! So I may have a problem with that in a few years. Didn't know that kid cared that much about dollars. All right, thank you. Okay, now I'm going to do a lot of thank yous. Thank you, Ori. We're going through Twitch Archive on YouTube the past 2 weeks, so it's supposed to be able to... Hey, welcome. Glad you'd be here. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you, Maniacal Queen. Oh, thank you. Thanks for watching and for helping support this. Thank you, Zero. Thank you, Garrett Bear. Thank you, Billy. Oh, thank you, Mackenzie. Thank you, thank you, Nix. Not to detract from all the feel good is to donate ACS because fuck it, but are you going to address the whole fake football? Oh, thank you for notifying me about that earlier. I haven't even told Laurie about that yet because I just read your message earlier. Give me a second. I'll get to that. Thank you, Axe Miller. You cornered some of your giant coworkers and had them. I thought about doing that. I honestly did. I'm not like the social disorder kind of guy. I still feel really weird in public filming by myself. And so many content creators are just, that's old hat to them, where they just walk around like, I'm filming, I'm doing this, here we go. I still feel like a jerk doing it. So I have trouble. Like, if it's the whole production, whatever. But if it's just me, or like me and another person, I feel weird. Thank you, Shadow. Oh, well, thanks for being part of this community. Thank you, love is all you need. I'm proud of the community. I'm just absolutely proud of this community too. And in the future, we got a better way to do it that doesn't have to go through me to the charity. It can just go directly to the charity. Jack's got a cool thing worked out that if we do this again, we can make it a much smoother process. Thank you, Kyle O'Brien. Welcome back. Congratulations on the new job. Thank you, Yes Bucket. Thank you, Kayla. Dumb and it is. Oh, well, good luck with that. Thank you, Evan. Yeah, it was scary, Evan. All right, hold on. I gotta catch up way further back. Darian, what I said was thank you so much for your little suitcase. I really appreciate it. Don't send me another one. I can get another one of you skulls. I really appreciate it, though. It worked perfectly, as you could probably see from the tweet picture. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Digital Wheel. Thank you, Maythrell. Thank you, Deholvor. Thank you, Ziosis. Thank you, Lucas. So Last of Us Team Militia. I have not, but I'll look into that. Thank you, Megan. Oh, you need email. Yes, or talk to a therapist if you're having anxiety. That's never a bad idea. Thank you, Ben. Crown STL made its way to you. Do you have a non-STL file? Because I can reparse an STL into a model file. Just easier if it's whatever source program used to make it in. Badge in there too. Oh, that's awesome. I haven't seen it yet though, Ben. Thank you, Ninja Monkey. I appreciate that offer. Thank you, Alchemic Arrow. I didn't plan on listening to you while working out, but happy with. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Cat Named Mouse. Thank you, Marie, for gifting the sub. Thank you. Yeah, Cake. Thank you. It's Mr. Tie-Dyed. Thank you, Demon Seaweed. Thank you, Fly Goni Doo. Thank you, That Manitoba Guy. Thank you, Himmy Man. Thank you, Rebel Alex. I kind of said already with the bank. They didn't react at all. They see probably way crazier things than that all the time. Thank you, Beth. I did explain to both the bank and to the American Cancer Society what I did. Oh, well, like I said, American Cancer Society looked me up afterwards, so they already knew all about us. Thank you, Bree. Thank you, Lane. Thank you, Trixie. The suitcase was adorable. All credit go to Darian. And then I think I've now jumped back up to thank you, Pandana and Violet Steam. Okay. The thing that Nick's brought up was they brought to my attention earlier that Someone is apparently trying to imitate Laurie on Facebook and is using two pictures from my Twitter of the dogs. Thank you, Beth. Were they disappointed with what they found? No, I think they were seemed quite impressed. Um, so if you it's closed down now, all right, let's go on. Never mind. My response to Nix when Nix told me about it earlier was just like, oh, pretty sure no one's going to be dumb enough to fall for that because it's like, oh yeah, she never wanted to be on camera or interact, be part of what I do before. All of a sudden, she's going to start a Facebook page. It's like, wife of Ryan Haywood, mother of two. Like, nah, I don't think so. Good luck with that. Yeah, cake. How much you say, my? Yeah, cake. Well, that's because that's how I feel about cake usually. I'm just excited by the idea of cake. Thank you, Alchemic. I'm sure you got this a lot, but guys, still guys, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you guys. Honestly, I usually just provide kind of a forum for you guys to do much of the heavy lifting of taking care of each other. That's I can't individually talk to everybody, but what I can do is create a place where you guys can talk to each other, and that's, I think, way more meaningful than what I can do. So standing up for each other is always good. That's same thing with making the donation to the American Cancer Society. That's all about a bunch of people trying to help other people. It's the best thing you can do. Thank you, Poison. Thank you, Chibi. I don't know if they saw me in the Spider-Man suit or not. The director did say they wanted to have lunch with me at some point to kind of discuss like how maybe Twitch can be used to help raise money. They seemed very happy with the idea of more avenues to reach people. So thank you, Nikki. I felt real important in an undeserved way. I was like, whoa, okay, I'm just a weirdo on the internet. I'm you want to talk to Jack. Jack is real good at this stuff. But I was asking for more time on the Xbox. Me, I just accidentally didn't do it. Thank you, Blue Charlotte. And thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Megan. Work is doing a charity boot walk in November. Do you walk in boots? How does the boot walk work? Thank you, Marie. You certainly did. Thank you, Beth. Annual event coming. Hey, maybe so. Like, I don't want to detract from Extra Life, because that's also really huge and important. We're raising money for Dell Children's Hospital. We take money from children. But I feel like our community is small enough segment of the RT community at large that we could probably get away with it and still do something yearly for the American Cancer Society. So we'll certainly see what we can figure out from there. Thank you, Darian. Oh no, you did great. It was perfect. It fit the it was just like a little oversized for the for the money, but it worked great. And you hopefully saw the Twitter picture. It was like perfect. Thank you, Ninja Monkey. Accidentally made a super awesome community. I didn't make the super awesome community. You guys made the community. I just had the Twitch channel. Really, all I had to do was sign up for like an email account. Thank you, Matherwell. Oh, well, that's really always been the best part of this whole process, is just seeing how happy everyone is to have people care. Sometimes it's as much about just people knowing that other people care, especially when it's a charity organization. And it was really great to see a lot of Twitter comments in response to that, saying like, I've worked with them and I know every dollar actually counts. But so that's great. Let's see. All right, so we are caring humans, and we human together. That's the whole thing. We all's got to human together. So animation stream. Got to figure out something to do here. Last time we made kind of a nightmare. Not sure how much of the process is really that interesting to watch. Honestly, your average animation can take quite a while to accomplish anything. Thank you, Beth. Yeah, I hope the axe throwing went well. Make a six-legged monster. No, look, if we're doing modeling from scratch, then that's a whole other thing. But you know, let's walk through a little bit of the process here. All right, so typically speaking, if you wanted to just start doing animation yourself, thank you 49 Royals. What you're going to want to do is, once you find a program, in my case Maya is the one I'm most familiar with. No, never, 1,000 times no. I'll do a character that almost but never quite dabs. Oh, what did I miss, Sorcerer? I'm sorry. Did I not? Thanks, Sage. Didn't read my cheers. I don't see your cheer. Was it a recent one or the one way back? Because I did read the one way back. We'll say it in chat right now. I'm watching. Thank you, Big Zach. Go away. What? No, don't tell me go away. I not go away. I've been every time I've been syncing at work in a Steam game, I've been, you know, we always sync by going 1 2 3 1 2 3 while saying it. And typically when we're doing a Steam game, the easiest thing to do is hit Shift Tab and just bring up the chat. I keep typing 1 2 3 1 2 3 in a message to Meg, and then instead of just deleting it, I've been sending it. And so she keeps texting me like, "What are you doing? What?" Thank you, Zulu. The first time she texted me is like, "Did you just send me your sync?" And I said, "Correct." And just now she said, "We have to stop meeting like this." And then another picture of my 1 2 3 1 2 3. Thank you, Commander Letty. Thank you for the 2 or 3 sub. I appreciate that. Which just means from now on, all of them going to Meg. Sorcerer, I'm a menace. I still don't know what it was that I didn't see you say, but I'm so sorry. She's going to block me on Steam. Yeah, she might. I think, what did we just film? Oh, you may see part of that in Thief Sim that we just recorded. There's new levels in Thief Sim, and or they expanded the story. It ended previously at blowing up, and then they added a new zone and more story to complete it. So, there's more Let's Watches in Thief Sim coming out because they've added a new area, and we did the rest of that too. All right. So anyway, you can explain why every day I see you playing Apex Legends, because I like it and I got daily challenges and that keeps me distracted. So typically you can get trial versions of software. This is an actually outdated version. This is Maya 2017. They have student versions that you can get for free. They have teaching versions if you're a teacher. Thank you, Sorcerer. Nothing we can do. Oh, okay. But brain stopped. I was reading comments and not thinking. What is Arnold's a renderer? They've changed a lot in Maya since I last used it, so my knowledge of hotkeys may have degraded somewhat. Okay, I can still move around. That's a good start. This will be kind of a learning process for me as well as I try and remember how to do any of this. Thank you, Icy Wolf. It's been a long time. Thank you, Achievement. But, so, let's say you found some software and want to practice. Yeah, the kids are getting a bath. And you decide you want to do some animation as well and practice animation and become an animator. First of all, it's a hard job to get because it's basically like an artist. Hey, Big Zach Vapor. Oh, thank you. Reason. Oh man. Uh, the it takes a lot of work. Your typical animation is only going to bang out a few seconds a week. A week, in full, uh, 40-hour weeks. So what we're going to accomplish tonight is probably going to be fairly small. We need to kind of set our sights on something pretty tight. Hey, Queen Muffin Fluff, but we can see what we can get away with. Maybe do like walking cycle, things like that. I'm sorry if I'm going full on teacher with this stuff, but I don't know what else to do with an animation stream. Is just show you the process and just talk about how it goes, how you go about creating things in it. If you wanted to practice for yourself though, what you're going to need is a rig. So there are free rigs available. I usually just search. So if you do free rigged 3D models, and then usually you want to do like your software package. TurboSquids is a website I've hit up a lot that has frequently a lot of 3D models. If you want to practice rigging, a lot of times there will be models to be rigged. So .ma file is the file type for Maya. And these are all free rigs. That doesn't mean necessarily that you can use them for like royalty-free music. Thank you, Aldrin. That just means that it's a free rig that is available for you to practice with. So don't pick it up and then try and do your own works with it unless it specifically states that you can. Stupid flyover I found, yeah. Thank you, T Scripter. Just made a large donation to Blender Foundation. He's adopting Blender. Oh, Blender is a free animation tool which I have not used, but I know a lot of people that have. It's one of those things where some things will translate pretty easily from one software package to another, and a lot of things are very hard to translate. So if you get used to one, in my case Maya, suddenly, unlike if you learn one programming language, it's usually pretty easy to translate to another. Software packages, very different. Trying to figure out how to navigate in 3ds Max nearly killed me after being trained in Maya. So it's not that you can't do it, but once you start getting proficient in one, you're going to find it a little bit harder to switch. So keep that in mind before you settle on one. Thank you, Ninja Muggy. Welcome to the how-to video. Professor Haywood teaches how to animate. We don't know how this will turn out either. Yeah, Joy. Trying to switch over is just rough. Thank you, Kikiri. Alright, so here's some free models. Some quadruped. I'm kind of interested in these like photoreal looking ones. Eric. It's a Unity model. It's a pretty decent model, actually. It only exists as a converted model for Maya 2014. FBX is kind of a generic format that a lot of different software packages can open. So not infrequently you will see FBX for trying to move things between software. I'm actually kind of impressed by how many rigs there are here. Is that... Oh... I don't know what's going on with... Is that Michelle Obama? Oh, mama? Alright. Sure. That one's weird. That's just swords. It's not a rigged model at all. Free 8 rigged. Velociraptor's pretty cool. Irex. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Mike Freeman. That's a StarCraft thing. Ultralisk, yeah. There you go. Real basic. Boxy Walker. There's an apple with a pin. That's pretty cool. StarCraft Marine. That's just a car. Oh, look at that little puppy. Ah. looks kind of like Maya, but not quite. That's all the same picture. All the thumbnail, very same. Quadrupeds can be a little bit different. Here, I'm just going to download it. We'll see. Oh. I don't know if I have a Turbo Squid account. Alright, hold on. I bet I did. But the question is, how long ago and does it still exist? Wrong password or member name. Okay, let's just assume I need to join it. Thank you, X Miller. Random photo, White Pope, not White Pope, Wild Pope Gregory the Ninth was in power. He declared the cats were to be associated with devil worship and then exterminated in droves. Believe that the spirits of those cats helped the rats spread the bubonic plague. So, doing the devil's work. I do not wish to receive updates. Thank you. What did I not transmute properly there? Okay. Great account. Never. Okay. Skip that. About to find out that this is not as free as it's claiming. Okay. So now I'm here. I would like to download, please. Yes. We're learning together. Turbo Squid. This is an interesting choice. This is like an FTP. Thank you, Megan. No. I think I've seen maybe first copy. Or the first episode, but that's it. Move? I would like that one, please. Haha! Success. ZBrush dog. Bleh. Really? Oh. WinRAR. Ooh, boy. I don't want to do that. I would just like to have the software. Thank you, Scarlet Beta. Oh, why did I just get 7-zip? That's better. And probably not going to give me a virus. Sorry, WinRAR. It's been too long. Thank you, Marie. I got up to 680 at one point, but too painful to watch for some people, I guess. Okay. Downloads. There's those lovely, terrifying pictures. 7-zip. Extract here. Alright, where are you? ZBrush dog. Okay. Let's just take a look here. So if we, I'm going to use the reference, which is typically how you would, I think I talked about this last time we did this, but, ooh, dog rig. Referencing something instead of importing something is very useful. Mental ray nodes. Well, that's a real shame because mental ray doesn't exist anymore. The difference between a reference and an import is when you import something into the scene, it's going to grab that file, it's going to bring it into your scene file, and it will just live there. So nothing will ever change it that you don't change directly in that scene file. Thank you, Mind Freak. Referencing it, it's kind of like a pointer in programming where you just say, I want that file to be part of the scene, and you can modify it however you want inside the scene, but it's going to base those modifications on the file that you've referenced. So you can, if I wanted to say fix some of the skin weights, which is how the skin on the animal follows the different bones. Ooh, that's real. Thank you, Liz. And thank you, Big Zach Faber. I feel like we're getting untrustworthy. Speaking of cats and human pets, fantastic law banning declawing. Oh, that's awesome. Anyway, so if you wanted to fix something like that, you could do it in the reference file, and instead of in, oh, this is interesting because they've used a pole vector there. for the, which that is actually kind of elbow, sort of. It's more like the wrist, really, which typically you'd have the pull vector on the down here, I would think, because anyway, I'm sorry. But you can make adjustments in the reference file, the original file. Thank you, Bethany, and they will be pulled into your scene file. So if you need to fix something, they'll always version it in reference, update the reference. Don't change the original, because that could also break it. Oh, he's got a penis control. I just noticed that. Why? Well, I have to see what it does. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 go away, go away, go away. There we go. It's a girl now. Just tuck that in. Please tell me it doesn't have controls on the nuts. It's got controls on the nuts. Oh no, 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 no. Wow, that's accurate. I mean, I appreciate the options there. That's very kind of you to have. That was, A+ rigging, because there's some swing to that. There is, but didn't need that level of realism. Didn't need it. Okay, we got an FK on the tail, looks like. Thank you, Kayla. That's, it's anatomical. It's nothing wrong with it. Whoa. Interesting. Right now we're in the just mess with it stage of a new rig, which is always just like grabbing stuff and tweaking it, seeing how things move. Give him kind of a wider. This is kind of an odd, it's sort of a difficult. Let's see, we'll give him a little more of a ready to leap. Thank you, Ganoush. Yeah, man, I don't know. Oh, I like the face though. It's a really cool, like, head rig. It's got some squash and stretch, which is kind of odd. Whoa. It's not. What's pulling out of him? Is that the next neck bone? So squash and stretch is also something that you look for. Oh, interesting. on characters that you plan to do something more cartoony with. And while it is a good option, that is a hefty amount of it. We can make monster dog. He doesn't have squash and stretch on his feet though, so the legs just lock out, but we can make him a dachshund. Ha! Ha! Oh, he's got squash and stretch on the tail. Yup. He must be lying. It's a very different Pinocchio story. Oh yeah, there we go. Huh. Let's take a look at the face. What can we do there? Got some eyebrows. He's very concerned about what we've just done. Eh? There we go. We'll make Sad Puppy, because we've really done horrible things to him. I'm so sorry, Sad Puppy. What do we got here? A little bit more eye control. I think let's put him in the somewhat alarmed position. Whoa. Make him very gaunt looking. which I feel like he would be kind of gaunt at this moment because he's stretched so thin. The old nostrils. Really got to flare those for fear. Yes, correct. This is. It looks like maybe some. Okay, this is probably like a blend shape that has a pre-bark. Oh, it's just the movement of the. Okay, gives you control over those mouth corners. And what we got here? Oh, there's tongue control. Do we have squash and stretch on the tongue? Because if we do, this is real bad for him. Let's angle that up a little bit. And then grab this and just go to town. Blah! Oops. That was the wrong direction. Blah! Yeah. This looks grotesque. I realize that. But there's legitimate reason to be doing what I'm doing, and that is once you play with a model for the first time, you really got to understand what it's capable of doing. You can actually rotate the teeth inside there. Just lift them straight out. He's got dentures. So as strange as this process may appear, I need to know what can rotate and how it can move. There we go. Demon dog. This is probably the eyes. Can't tell. Hey, Big Zach. Oh, it's cursed for sure. 3D print this would be a nightmare. Oh, that's a really interesting choice. It's supposed to be. Oh. Oh no. Why? And then these are probably. Yeah, I can actually affect his face directly. Thank you, Nix. Thank you, Shadow. Now put it back. I think we've pretty much covered everything it can do. So, nope. Found something new. Found a way to make the leg stretch. There we go. Ah, ha, ha, ha. That's probably got one here. Yep. Rah. There. Now his foot fits. Perfect. Yes. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? You're a good boy. Thank you, Shan. Thank you, Alteran. Yeah, no, there's definitely a part that I haven't re-squashed and moved. It's in there, though. Thank you. Oh, boy. Let's see. I missed a few. Thank you, Ninja Monkey. You demon snake dog. Exactly. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you, Maniacal Queen. Exactly. I warned everybody it would be nightmare fuel. I don't know why couldn't have been clearer. Thank you, Cherry Raindrops. Thank you, Alteran. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Chibi. Thank you, Voltaic. Well, the real question is, do we want to move forward with animating a quadruped, or do we want to go and do something more like a biped? Watch this. This is not the best way to do this, but I'm just doing it because that's as far back as we can go. I was seeing how many... You can set the number of the history length. Oh, ah. Oh, we can make him really... I don't know what you've done. Little deputy dog kind of feel there. Ah! Oh, we can give him a roll. Mm-hmm. Oh my. His eyeballs are kind of intruding on it. Also, I don't think I can get a skin on this guy because he was built in a render engine that no longer exists. So he's probably just going to be like flat gray no matter what I do here. Well, for one, lights. There should be. Oh, it's Arnold Renderer. I don't know much about Arnold Renderer. And options. Display. This should be a button I can turn on for. Gotta remember how this works. View. Lighting. Default lighting. Show renderer viewport 2.0 already. Okay, interesting. Thank you, River Tam. Yeah, I don't have a light in there at all. It should use just a, well, at least previously it would create a default light, but I don't know how that runs these days. That's, yeah, I think they're just missing textures is the issue. I gotta remember how this works. Oof. Okay. Boy. Look at all those broken textures. Can't select skin, but I probably still gonna right click on it. Nope. Because it's probably got a locked layer. There we go. Material attributes. Yeah, this is gonna have. I'm just gonna assign new material. Let's just give him just a nice flat, not a Fong Lambert. There we go. Render him. There we go. Look at that beautiful thing. For some reason, all of his controls are renderable. That's not right. Thank you, MJ. You've seen Full Metal Alchemist. Yes, I have. And yes, I did just make a homunculi. Thank you, Sinner. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you, FK. I'm glad I'm making you laugh. Alright. Let's do a new scene here. Let's make sure that's gone forever. Alright. Any other models here jump out at anybody? Oh, I wish we could get it to look like that, but we can't. Thank you, Sinner. Hey! Congratulations on getting married. Okay. Free rig model. Where was I? I was on Turbo Squid. Rig. King Kong Maya rig. Got a Wukong. Thank you, Kapow Arsenic. Minecraft cow. There are rigged Minecraft animals. Actually, it wouldn't be hard to make him, to be honest. Here's Minecraft cow rig. Maya. I think I made one once, actually. Thank you, Cake. Yeah, Cake. Thank you, Snowy Nebula. That would make a lot more sense. You've really expanded the universe. Thank you, Sheepies. Man, Sheepies, I have no control over what happens. Thank you, Ninja Monkey. There was a Ninja Monkey. I think, alright, let's see. Thank you, Paint Strip. Let's see. Minecraft model free. Turbo Squid again. He's in 3ds Max. Minecraft cow. Seriously? And it doesn't have it as an FBX. That. It'd be so easy to make, too. That's the thing. just don't remember. Probably gonna put it in a cube and just kind of like give it one of these. Kind of move it up there. We need it to rotate at the top here. Align to the top. Though I should have aligned it to the bottom first so I could snap it to the grid. This is the whole system here. Let's see. Insert, and if I remember, leave me the 4. There we go. X, I believe, is snap to grid. Yep, there we go. Okay. And then let's snap it to the grid a couple over here. Okay, duplicate and snap him over this way a little bit. How close together are the legs on this cow? I think they're really close together, right? They're like that. That also looks a bit high. Got kind of stubbier legs. Are they pressed together? I can't remember. Okay, duplicate. Snap those back here a little bit. That. Create polygon primitive, cube. And he needs to be, yep, up here. I think it's exactly the length of the legs. What did I just make there? Did I not make it? That's a NURBS cube. Get out of here. Hey, Simroll! Hey, Simroll! Or thank you, Bambi, for gifting one to Simroll. And thank you, Maniacal Queen. Alright. And just create. NURBS are a different surface type. So, basically, a polygon is a traditional kind of thing that you would be used to from, say, geometry, just a shape. A NURBS is, I can't remember what it stands for, but basically it's kind of like a point cloud that's defining a shape. So it's much better at curves. Oh, that's vertex snap to that. Holding V is vert snap. I'm just making this the size of the. So, thank you, Ninja Monkey. Yeah, I'm really doing this a overbearing way. This is just animation stuff, you know? Just fun stuff to do. So, you may notice when I'm clicking one of these directions, by default, when you select something, you can move it in all 3 axes. If you click that, it now is only moving in that axis. And then if you hold V, that's vert snap. So all these little points are called vertices. And I'm snapping it to the same plane as the legs down here. So if I then grab this is the most basic modeling that I could potentially be showing you. There we go. Got some legs. I feel like his legs are too long, right? I need a picture of the cow up. Should always have reference material. Hey, Marie. A mushroom. Oh, well, I should have waited and finished then. Thank you, Big Zach. But, I mean, I'd already said that I felt like the legs were too long. Which we can fix real easily. So we just grab all these. Vertex. And that doesn't work that way. Gotta put these in vertex mode manually. And then we just shorten them up a little bit. That looks about right. Okay, I won't look again at the cow. So we'll go. Well, from here, we'll just go back to me trying to wing it, and then we'll see how close I get. Thank you, Big W. Thank you, the Alteran. Make pickles. It's, you know, cow to mushroom is not far. The body may be a little long. Thank you, Katie. NURB stands for non-uniform rational B-splines. I should be incrementing and saving, but I'm not that worried about it. You're correct, though, to call me on that. The other thing that you should do, hey, Master Tia, is always delete your history on things. So So my now if you'll notice, because I moved the leg up like that, the controller for it is now down here. I moved those earlier, but I didn't really talk about what I was doing. Thank you, Raxor Rue. And I know I'm just hitting you with a lot of stuff right now. This is just like a brief overview of the kind of things. Yeah, delete history is important. I was getting to that. But that's important because it rotates around that spot whenever you're controlling it. It is controlling and snapping to that location. So if I move it and try and snap to something, it's snapping based on where that gadget is placed. So if you hit the insert key, you can then move that, and then I'm going to vert snap it to the bottom here. Actually, I'm going to vert snap it to the top, because now we're... Nope, I'm going to leave it there for a second. So that I can grab all these, and then from the side view, put them back onto the ground. There we go. Okay. Now, if I put this is the literally basic rig, and not dissimilar from how Minecraft works. But there you go. We got leg that works just off of strictly animating the transform node on the polygon itself. Okay. That there. Move this up here. Okay. Now, were we to do this with a full rig, yeah, there's a lot of talk. Were we to do this with a full rig, we would eventually turn this into a single mesh. We could still do that. By that I mean we need to combine all of these. And if you were making something anything other than Minecraft skin, what you would also do is be attaching these so that it's seamless. Right now that's a separate object from that in the sense that it still has a face under here. What you would really want, if it was a seamless model, a more traditional skin, is you cut a hole in the bottom here and you take this face out, which you can do just by switching to face mode and just boop. Okay, now there's a hole in it. Because you want it pretty much seamlessly hollow all the way through. Come on, go back to where you were. There you go. Oops. Alright, so that's there. Now I need to make a head. Thank God, like Coyote. Okay, let's create another polygon. Primitive cube. So it needs a face. Alright. So I know that it is... I can use this to my advantage right now because I need to... Whoops. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to move that down just a little bit because I think his neck rotates kind of from the bottom. So, yeah, more or less. The other thing about moving that is when you then scale it, it scales from that point. So, it's getting bigger from back here. I think his head is pretty much square. No, it's a little bit shortened. And a little bit further down, I think. That looks more like a sheep. I think the cow has a bigger head. Though, really, they all kind of look the same. Okay. Thank you, the Fall of Reach. Alright. Cube. Actually, so another way you could add geometry to this. So, right now I need to put horns on the side of his head. Now, I could just make another polygon primitive cube and then just stick it on the side, or what I could do is something more like this, where if I go to this and I go to insert edge loop tool, this is another way to make it more of like a seamless thing. I'm gonna put a couple edges here, and I need to put one more in here, or two more probably. Let's say, I can't remember exactly how big the horns are. But what I've done there is, thank you, MJ. What I've done there is create a face right here. Oops, I'm still in that tool. Yeah, hit Q to get out of that tool. And I can grab this face and I can extrude it. Now, right now I did that on one side. I really should do it on both sides. But I can pull it out like that, and you can just create another polygon kind of growing out of the side of it. And I'm going to undo that, because if you... Okay, that extrusion is still there. There we go. Okay. And the reason I undid that is because I need to do both of these. Which I'm pretty sure is not going to work when I try that. Yeah, no, it'll work. So if I do that, see, it'll grow out on both sides. And then we're going to grow these, though really this is... The horns extend up past the head, I think. So what I should have done, and what I will reverse back and do here, is they stick up. Okay, so I'm going to grab this one and this one. And before I do that, I'm actually going to delete this edge. I should have just deleted this loop. Okay, because I can just extrude the whole thing. Thank you, Big Zach. Because the horns go up past the head, so there's no reason to have that extra face in there. Now, I double-clicked on, when you're trying to get rid of an edge loop, you can just double-click it, and it'll select the whole edge loop. If I just hit delete, the edge loop's gone, but the vertices are still there. It's kind of a weird thing that I'm sure has a use, but I've never known what it was. So either what you do is you delete the edge and then you delete the vertices, or you just go Shift, delete edge. Let's Shift right click and select delete edge. That way you don't end up with those extra gross vertices. All right, so I'm going to select this and this. And I'm going to extrude face. We're going to poke them out a little bit. I don't remember if this is how this works. And then select these two, extrude face, and then there's the horns. I don't think he has a face. Alright, now I'm looking at it for a second here. I don't think his head is cuboid. The other thing that's nice about that is now that's all one piece, so I don't have to... There we go. So technically this is, you could animate it just like this. I would group it first. But... Alright. I need to... Okay, assign... I need to... Alright, let me see if I can find the Minecraft cow skin. Minecraft cow skin. Download. A template would work. What's with the eyes on this thing? Ugh! What was that nightmare? Cow party ideas. Some of these are terrifying. Just want the regular cow skin, please. That. Give me that. I just want the skin file. Just give me the skin file. Nah. Oh. Here's the part where I'm really going to mess it up. Alright, well, look, if that's what we got to deal with, then that's what we got to deal with. I don't know what I mean, that'll actually work. It's not ideal, but it'll work. It is laid out as a skin texture. Skin texture. I just want regular eyeballs, though. That. Just give me the skin for that. This is the other problem with trying to find stuff online, is you'll find a lot of things. Alright. Ah! Look at that monster. Little chunk. Alright, we'll take the weird googly eye one. That someone made and I'm going to use for free. Thank you. Is that the model? Oh, the udder actually has geometry. Alright, so that's what it looks like. Looks like the horns I made were a little too big. I can't stop it from rotating. Stop. Stop. The head is flatter, like I remembered. It's not a cube. It's set. I think maybe my legs are a little long. Or maybe the torso just isn't quite big enough. I think maybe a slightly bigger torso would make that fit. And then I didn't model the udder. I don't know what this site is doing. Can I have it? What is it? Edit. Okay. Can I save it? Open. Nope. Image editor. Open texture in a 2D pixel editor. Alright. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to just go alt print screen. Don't do this at home, kids. This was not the correct way to do this. But for the sake of educational programming, we're just gonna grab that, crop, and look, we've got the skin. Nailed it. Thank you, N7 Gundam. Yeah, it is in Paint, because I don't think I have Photoshop installed in here. I do. Nope, I don't. So, deal with it. Cow texture. Okay. Now, this should be... Thank you, Snowy Nebula. The UVs on this should actually be pretty easy to do. Assign new material. Let's just the Lambert. Color. In the color channel, we put a file. That file, we put our cow texture. Obviously, it doesn't line up yet. Thank you, the friggin' Pope. That is not going to work out well because of how I did it. But you wouldn't download a cow. Thank you, Snowy Nebula. Good call. That is piracy, sorta. What I did. But I'm using it for teaching purposes, so it's slightly different. Alright, we need to check the UVs on here. Ooh, and it has been a hot second since I did UVs, so... display image? Why are we not... Give me the... There we go. Alright, so this is called the UV editor. Oh boy. I'm not 100% sure. This looks like the bottom, I guess. Thank you, Toilet Nader. Where's... I don't see the udder anywhere at the moment. There it is. The udder's on the chest. Alright, so that's the chest block. I may not have picked a good texture for this to steal. Alright, so that is the bottom of the cow, and the chest, and then the side, and then the side, and this is the butt. Okay. So, these are the UVs. This controls where the texture lays. Currently his chest is on his... Okay, let's... it's been a long... I know I can transform this. Where is it? There's a... Okay, here we go. Thank you, Ninja Monkey. Yeah, exactly. They all chemic. Except if you're doing it for... never mind. It's just not good. Just don't do it. So technically I got it from a site that had ripped it off from Minecraft, so they didn't really own it either. I'm trying to remember how to rotate UVs. It's been a real hot minute. I don't even know why I'm doing this. Does anyone care about this cow? Hey, Soren. Above perfection, it should. While yes, typically you would unwrap your UVs, in this case it shouldn't need to be unwrapped because it is just a basic polygon and it's a polygon texture. So I need to cut one of these free. That's part of my problem is this is not square. If this was a perfect square, it would be a little bit easier. Well, so why don't I fix that real quick? Open with paint. Resize. That's not going to work. Alright, let's see. Do that. Copy. Thank you. Yeah, cake! Learning experience. Yeah, it is a relearning experience for me because it's been way too long. Thank you, Kayla. I'm glad that it is amusing. Alright, so if I do... I miss Photoshop because in Photoshop I know how to do this so much faster. View? I want to resize it and make it taller. But if I do it this way, it's just going to stretch it. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to skew it. I just want to resize it. I want to resize the canvas, which is the thing that I know how to do in Photoshop, but not in this. Okay, new. Nope. That's not going to do it. Well, anyhow, there's a cow. Oh, it's been so long. I really don't remember. I remember some things. So, like, cut UVs. Then if I select that, I can now move this independently. This being the... I think this is... We decided... Nope. Alright, that's the chest. That's the chest piece. Edge. Cut UVs. And then... Move that. This is the butt. Yeah, okay, which we decided was here. Right there. And I didn't put an udder on it, so that's going to be a problem for a minute, but... And then I assume... Where does this cut off? That might actually be... Because that should be a perfect square, so... There. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. It's upside down, though. So we need to just rotate that around. There we go. All right. Perfect. No, we're pulling it back together. Thank you, Ninja Monkey. Thank you, Dat Nerdy Witch. Okay. There's the butt. All right. Let's move these out of the way. Nope. That's not move. No, this is the chest, which is down here. And it's kind of more like something like that. Should go all the way up to here. Okay. And we can use this as a guide. Attach that to there. This should fall in the same spot, basically, as... I don't remember what snap to UV is, but that's close enough. And then this is going to line up with that. See? This is all coming back to me. Not the right way to do it at all, but it's all coming back to me. There we go. All right, that's the chest. And we just need to do the sides. Edge. Cut UVs, and let's cut this one free too. Cut UVs. All right, UV. All right, what are you? It's either the side or the chest. It's gotta be the other side. There we go. Okay. Now, would it be this side? If nothing else, hopefully this will convince you that anyone can do this. If you're just smarter than me. Alright, so this must be the top. So this would be... I don't know if it's this side or that side, but we'll figure it out. I should sew those back together, but whatever. And cut it down like that. And then this goes up there. And it should be the same width as this piece. And it's probably this side then. Something's not right with that. There we go. Nope. Nope. Oh, I've got it rotated. That's the problem. This is where the unfolding that was mentioned earlier would have helped out a lot. Okay. Okay. Now there's a way that you can make it so this snaps. Or there's a button that'll rotate it 90 degrees that I'm clearly not using. So do it the smarter way, not the way I'm doing it. Even though I'm showing you how to do it. But just clearly the wrong way. We taught him wrong because we thought it was funny. Yep. Alright. That is still wrong. Alright, so that's the butt side. Okay. I swear there's a rotate button. It's one of these somewhere. Seems like rotate. Cycle the clockwise. There we go. Thanks, H. Barton. That actually could work just fine. We just gotta put this back here. Okay. Okay. And then we just... Oh. Hey, there's the rotate clockwise button. I found it. Where was that button I was just hitting? Yep, is that it? Is it? I don't think so. Try one more time. Maybe that is it. Okay. Yeah, I think that lines up there. Okay. And then... Is this the other side or the chest? There we go. Right there. Drag that down there. Shouldn't be any wider than that. Somewhere in there, maybe. And then let's like that. This is a cool tool. I didn't know that it existed. There we go. That looks right. One of these is its back. That's its back. Somewhere there. I won't make you suffer through much more of this, I promise. Though again, I did warn you. Animating is a time-consuming, and tedious process. It takes quite a lot of time to do it if you're going to try and do it well. There we go. And then that makes this the chest. I think it was kind of right there. Whoops. Nope. a lot of just sitting by yourself, quietly cursing. Messed up something there. Nope. UV. There we go. Okay. Behold, a cow with some texture. Hey, milk toast. And that's how you don't UV things. Part of a cow. Let's render him and see how he looks. Looks like a nightmare dog. Still don't have... Oops, no default lighting. Lights. Directional light. Directional light is basically a light from an infinite distance. Kind of like the sun, which I know isn't infinite, but is so far away that the light beams might as well be from an infinite source. Thank you. Yeah, cake! Alright, I don't remember how to switch this to a non-local effector, but whatever. Give another couple of these. A little bit of this love. Yeah. Okay. Behold, a lit cow. With some textures. I guess I could just do one of the legs, then it'll do all the legs, but ugh. It doesn't have a face. That is correct. You want it to have a face? Find existing material, Lambert 1. Nope. Existing material, Lambert 2. There, now it has an udder face. Are you happier? And an udder leg. It's all udders. Terrifying. Give him some ground to munch on. Cast shadows upon. There we go. Nightmare fuel. Hey, Ninja Monkey. The udders have struck again. Alright, hold on. I do like this new rendering view. I feel like it's a little bit more stable than previously. You can actually get like live shadows with them not looking too bad. Sun's getting real low. Technically this is like way overkill. Alright, so let's take this, bounce this down. Let's take that to 0.6. Really the backlight should be more like 0.2. Front light. Make it more like a 2. Thanks, Lily. Thanks, Guy. It's true. It is very milkable. And hideous. Thanks, Stella. Oh, thank you for the gifted subs there, in 7 Gundam. Now, again, you could, if you so chose, I mean, delete freeze transformations. Well, I probably don't want to freeze. Yeah, freeze. Delete all by type. Delete by type. History. Now it has no history on it. And then freeze transforms. There we go. Now it's all zeroed out. There has no transform information. So previously, whenever I duplicated and moved things, it was leaving data here in the translates. Now I've cleared all that out. Thank you, Evan. Yeah, that's not what you're hearing. Thank you, Queen. So I could, if I so chose, I'm going to make a group node for that. So cow disaster. I don't think I spelled that right. So now we could potentially animate it. This is a rigless animation, essentially, because it has no bones in it. We could just be animating it based off of its native transforms. But let's say we wanted like a 30-second or a one. I currently have this set for 30 frames per second, I think. Windows setting preferences, settings. No, it's in 24 frames per second. So let's go 30 frames per second, just because that's where I got used to working. There we go. Now, okay. 1. There we go. Okay. So 1 second is 30 frames in 30 frames per second, as it sort of indicates. So if we give him a, I forget how the cow looks when it walks. It's kind of like a, is it kind of offset right there? Hang on, let's see, what did I do with that? It was minus 23. Let's just make it a nice even minus 23. What has happened to my timeline? There we go. Key selected, and then there. Is it offset like that? Probably. Oh no, that would be wrong. Huh? Wait, how does it walk in Minecraft? I mean, animals usually like it's would be, but no. Hang on. My brain's kind of shut off here. The sucker fiend is definitely not going to walk like that, though. But it wouldn't have both of them forward on that. Thank you, yes, Bucket. I did promise. Thank you, Mr. Conviction. Thank you, Flame Spirits. Well, this is why we look at reference material. Cow walking. Cow walking. Huh. Alright, so it's like left side, right side, but with a delay. How cows walk the way they do. So it's like they meet in the middle. Interesting. Okay. So at the, it's got like a passing state. Interesting. Okay. Okay. All right. So essentially, it's got one leg forward and one leg backwards up front. While this leg is actually planted, and this leg is transitioning forward to meet that leg. I should just match this to what I'm seeing instead of having it be... Okay, let's do that. Alright, minus 23. So let's say we're starting at this position. This leg is currently off the ground. This one is transitioning. Wait a minute. No, it's the other one. Okay. That one's planted. And this one is moving forward to meet the other one. So then let's go out here like 15 frames. And this guy is going to be up like that. I've really messed something up somewhere. Because it moves forward to meet that one. They almost touch, but my legs aren't long enough in here. That plants. Then this leg actually goes forward. Alright, so we're still at 15. Let's make that again minus 23. Key selected. Alright, so that's what we've messed up, is this one. Well, that one doesn't move, right? So I've really thrown myself off here. Let me just observe here again. So just looking at one side, they meet and then the front leg goes forward. And then the back right leg goes forward. And then the front right goes forward. And then the back left goes forward. Thank you, Chibi. To the art category. This is the second thing. Oh, I'm so sorry, Art. Art, I apologize. Cows walk weird, man. Yeah, the music is quite something. Okay. I never realized that cows had such a strange gait. Let's... Alright. Not delete select. I just want to delete the key. Delete. Okay. So we need to find our initial position. Like, where do we start the animation from? So our first pose... walk cycles aren't that hard if you can just... Alright. Here's maybe where I'm overthinking. I'm making this too complicated. Alright. Each leg just swings back and forth. Thank you, Nichelle. So all it needs to do is from here to, let's say, it seems like it's kind of a plotting step. So it needs to be minus 23. So key selected. So it's just going to swing forward. They're all going to swing forward and backwards. They're just going to be synced up differently. So minus 23. Let's say kind of here. And then I do need to animate like a hold though. 5. So 20. This will be at 23. Whoops. We're not doing a loop quite yet here. I'm just trying to wrap my brain around it. So it starts there, and then it goes forward. Meanwhile, the other one's freaking out. I think I've got more than one key on it. I do. I have a key right there. Stop. There we go. Oh. Thank you, Flame Spirits. Can you get the knees to bend? I mean, I could, sure. But then I would start needing to have actual geometry. Make this animation to a GIF. Thank you, Ninja Muggy. I mean, at some point I have to actually complete the thing. And I'm going to be honest, for some reason, I'm having real trouble wrapping my brain around this. Step. I'm just looking at the front left leg. Part of it is because he doesn't actually move. And that's what... Because I'm not animating him in direction, you have to, in your brain, move the foot back, even though it's not actually moving. It's not pushing forward. So what I'm saying is, if you watch this left foot, it plants. And the whole animal's moving forward above it. But when you're making a walk cycle, you don't move the torso. The foot just like moonwalks on the ground. So it still has to kind of slide like this. I know I could look at Minecraft. I'm looking at an actual cow though. I should mute that before the music gets me. So if you look at just the front though, it is basically like a human walk cycle. It's just foot goes forward, plants, foot goes forward, plants. So if I stop worrying about the back, let me do this, break this down a little bit more. I apologize, by the way. It's just relearning this whole process for me as well. Let's say this whole step takes maybe 2 seconds. I mean, that's pretty fast, to be honest. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to key it again in that position. And then in the middle, at 30, it should be in the opposite. It's a very slow step. So it's just, hang on. Something's wrong here. So it's minus 23 there. Oh. Minus 23. Key selected. Okay. So it should just be like whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. Okay. And now this one should be the opposite of that. So at that, it's at 23. Key selected. At 30, it's at minus 23. Key selected. And then at 60, it's back at 23. Alright, so now that's just a standard. I'm walking with my 2 front legs. Rip, 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 rip. Real slow. Got this. Thank you, Retro Anachronism. Alright. Now, let's take a look at the back legs. So, they meet, essentially. So, at 30, this leg should be kind of more like that. 3. Key selected. I gotta get rid of these keys. Delete. Okay. At there, it should be at 3. Key selected. And there, well, at there. Okay, so. And that more or less looks like the Minecraft walk cycle for the cow, I believe. Okay, so there it should be. Actually, there, let's key it. And then here it should be minus 23. Key selected, and it's called coming back to me. Key selected. Okay, there we go. Now, Utterface is walking. Hey, Violet Steam. in a loop. So again, it looks weird because it's not actually moving. Udgar. That's pretty nice. So the other thing we can do now is, if you wanted to animate that cycle, is to actually have it go somewhere. What you do is animate the group. So if I move him back here and key that, and then move here, let's key him over here. So now he walks. Though you really need to, I need to look at the graph on the motion there, but because he's got some ease in, ease out. It's a little slidey. I feel like that's a little too much. His final position should probably be more like here. Or maybe we'll just adjust his initial position, because that's... There we go. Let's try that. Still a little slidey. Move him up a little bit more. Thank you, Flame Spirits! Just giving me would react first. Best reaction. I could actually insert this into our Minecraft. Alright. Now, you may notice looking at that, it seems like it speeds up and then it slows down. That's because, by default, whenever you set a key on something, it has a tangent. Hey, Lois. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Vienna Tam. So if I go to Graph Editor, so this is a graph of the animation, essentially. So in this case, we're looking at the top node, so that's just the start and stop. And And you can kind of see now where that acceleration's coming in. So it's starting from nothing, and it's ramping up to its full speed, and then it's slowing down, which in a lot of cases is really a good thing because it makes it look a little bit more natural. But in this case, because it's a linear translation, we need it to be linear. It needs to be sharp. If I change the tangents to linear, now when I hit play, he won't have that ramp up. He'll just move forward. Thank you, Violet. Actually, press enter for. I'm having an allergic reaction to something. Oh no! I'm so sorry. Hope you feel better. And then, because we've animated the top node, we can affect anything in here, and it's going to all move with it. So, we wanted him to maybe have kind of like a little bit of sass, maybe a little bit of head attitude, right? You know, he's walking along, he's having an utterly great day. A little bit of this, like there. And then he's got to be there again. Somewhere in 30. Let's move over that way. And now he's just like walking along, singing his song. So it's such a short cycle. He's whistling from 4 different orifices. All that udder action. I should have given him a tail. You could just... It's so much eye contact. There is actually an auto keyframe option. I would never use that Changosaurus. It's really not a good idea to have auto keyframes. Hey Trist, please make a STL file of this so I can 3D print. You could, I mean, this is, as far as STLs go, this is just the default Minecraft cow, more or less. I mean, pretty darn close, I would like to say. I get kind of like a real friendly cow look there. Plush of Udgar. I was gonna fix him, but now I kind of feel... Well, you know what? I'm gonna center it up a little bit. I do feel like the udder should be more in the middle, right? Or do I just leave it as its current hideous thing? Go ahead and center it up. Lovely. Leave it. He's growing on me. All right, we can just leave him. Now, if I had this rigged, I could give him more hip sway too. But because of the way I've animated this, there's no rig to drag this along with it. There's no IK in here, so I can't give him like some butt sway. So much like the Minecraft cow, his hips are static and unyielding. I feel like he's floating a little too much. And part of that is there's no plant. Right? So he should... Let's clean up a little thing here. Okay. So his footsteps, he's walking, he's translating on that foot, and then it needs to stop. Needs to get to 23 a little earlier and then hold there. So he needs to hit. No, that's not quite right. It needs to have a moment where it's planted. And part of that is that's a hitch in the gait. So his gait wouldn't be linear. It would be have a little bit of this to it, where instead of just being constantly translating, there'd be dips where there's slight pauses as he shifts weight from side to side. I don't think we're going to be able to completely emulate that with this particular rig. So I may just have to leave that nightmare as it is. That may be as far as we get with Udgar. The plant, well, yes, you're right. The plant would be straight up and down. Except that again, it's kind of a weird thing where it'd sort of be kind of there-ish. Like he's planted right there, and it's just that his leg is moving. Because he doesn't have a knee or an ankle, a plant doesn't work. Because usually what's happening is part of your leg is still moving, but your foot is planted. His foot can't plant because his whole leg is foot, basically. So where the foot, that was why when I tried to do that, it really didn't work, is the foot would be planted, but the shoulder, elbow, all that would still be moving. And since I can't plant a foot because he doesn't have an IK leg in there, he's just gonna float. Thank you, Snowy Nebula. Would you like me to do anything else to our quickie animated cow? His whole leg is essentially a foot in terms of animation here. I should have made his walk cycle longer. Put me on him. I don't think I have a Minecraft Steve to work with there. Now, it's been a long time. There is actually a way to cycle the animation and then extend it further so that he could keep walking. I don't remember how to do that off the top of my head. That isn't... I think it's going to be in the graph editor. He's got it very simple. I could give him some grass, yeah, on the ground there. Curves. Post cycle. Let's see if that works. Nope. Thank you, Marcus. Put him in Sky Factory 4. I don't think that's an option either. Oh, did I close it? Graph editor. Maybe in time editor. It's been a very long time. And I don't remember. Like, I want this to... Hey, NASA! NASA? Hey, Marcus! For gifting a sub to NASA. Is it actually NASA? No, no one milked the cow. You don't want to suffer what happens from there. Cycle with cycle. Did I do it? Yeah, there we go. Okay, nailed it. So now we just need to grab his group here and give him further to go. So seems like the sweet spot there was -4 to 5. We now go this to, let's say, 250. Let's take him all the way back and just see what looks right. Key selected, and then let's say by 160, he's all the way down here. Real Ferdinand the Bull kind of situation here. Let's see how that looks. Didn't work. What did I do wrong? Oh. Okay, delete that key. There we go. And I need to fix the E. Now he's trucking it, man. Alright. And And then let's grab, oops, no. Just move this key kind of back to 215. Let's see how that looks. Still slidey. I mean, for him. Still a little slidey. Oh, did I not adjust it? Better. Not great, but better. Show grid. Thank you, Marcus. Yes, it's the official NASA. Are they here? The NASA account is actually here, and this is what they caught me doing. Of all the things I could be doing when NASA shows up. I'm not even wearing my NASA shirt. NASA, I gave $15,000 to the American Cancer Society. Well, we did. Mainly them. I just carried it. Thank you, Marie. Here he comes. Here comes Speed Racer. Those pesky tangents are back. There we go. Thank you, Queen. Yeah, time to switch to Kerbal. Good call, Flame Spirits. He looks so happy with himself. Just taking in the day, you know? Just strolling along, singing a song. And that is how you help a cow get to orbital insertion velocity. Everyone nod. It'll look smart. They're gone, right? They're already left. Indubiously. That's not the word. Yes, yes. No, you guys say, yes, we concur, we concur. NASA. I'd really like to go to space. I promise I have skills that don't involve making cows walk. Oh wait, look, I can fix this. Here's what we do. Watch this. All right. And oops, I forgot to key him at 0. Thank you, Chaotic Diamond. I feel like he really needs to accelerate faster. Thank you, Fahrenheit the Blade. Okay, wait. And then what we do is, alright, hang on. Where is he? Right there. Alright, let's key selected. And then zero. And then oops. Well, that's fine. That's okay. So now he goes to space. Thank you, Ninja Monkey. I forgot to key him back at the top. He bounces. But what I was really going to do is, okay, he hits, and then in true Minecraft fashion, what's going to happen is he, delete that. Oops, not that one. Delete. He, hits, bounces a little bit, and then falls over. Splat. Let's see how that looks. There's not enough bounce though. Need a little bit more bounce. Oh, and I didn't key all. That's the problem. Okay. S. There we go. And then just translate up in Y a little bit. S. All right. Burp. Bah. Oops, nope, didn't mean to do that. Just want to translate it, not stretch it. Focus this in a little bit. That's why cows were not meant to go to space. And what we do here is, hang on, so we grab him here. I'm going to go and key everything there. And then as he's blasting off, I feel like he needs to be rotated a bit. Alright. Thank you, that nerdy witch. It does count as cow tipping. Thank you, Commissar Sika. I can fall in a hole. Thank you, Ninja Buggy. You jumping over the moon. Good point. Thank you, Astrocore. Counter space. Here we go. And then, just to, really tack this in there, we're gonna get fancy. Hold on. Thank you, Flame Spirits. Carrie voiced Edgar. He's gonna voice Edgar. That's a great question. Alright. This, I don't know if I'll still be able to do. Can I get just a basic emitter? Oh, what's the name of that window? There's pre-made emitters. Thank you, the Asian himself. There's spring. What's it? Create an emitter. Come on, come over here. This is going to emit particles. Okay. And what we do is we put this right there. And hey, Marcus. We've played a little bit of it. We did some of that today. Brain outliner. Okay, so I'm going to attach this emitter to the cow disaster. So now it's parented to that, essentially, or it's in the group. Okay. We need to turn it off. Okay, so great. Let's say, hey, zombie. Key selected. So then when he's gone, let's take it down to 0. Key selected. So he just needs the particles when he's blasting off. Then they can turn it off. Yeah, I feel like that's not enough particles though. So let's see here. Let's key it to 1000. 1000. I don't really want it. I want it directional. Whoosh. And their decay needs to be a little faster. Scale rate by object size. By speed. Let's turn that to on, see what happens. So I need to select the particle cloud is what I need to grab, which is this. Lifespan, live forever, random range, lifespan random, 2. Alright, so see now they're dying off, which is good. Next, the real trick to this is I'm not going to remember how to make them look like anything, but thank you. Yeah, cake. Good night. Thanks for being here. Tangent speed. Let's give him a speed of 2. Spread of 5. Of 1, I guess. There we go. Much better. Whoosh. By default, those probably won't render looking like anything. Really needs to be more vertical at that point, doesn't he? Alright, alright. Particles. Let's see. How do I change how they look? Thank you, Flame Spirits. Superman pose that he flies. Oh, that's true. Could give him the Superman pose. Input to geometry. No. Detail air factor. Thank you, Chuckles and Anarchy. I've not messed with dynamics in so long that it's really, really hard to remember. Lost of land, I'm gonna do the ID. It's okay, never like that leg, but keep doing it. Hey, thanks, and I appreciate your service, Chuckles. I'm really sorry to hear about your leg, but it sounds like you got the right attitude, man. Thank you, Wendino. Been a hot minute since I caught a stream, but boy, I'm glad I missed you. I don't know if this is what anyone expected from an animation stream, but hey. Whoosh. His legs be twitchier at the end? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Snowy Nebula. So, honestly, though, if nothing else, I will say that what this can show you, what you can take away from this, is that I think I can just put a material on it, right? Thank you, Fahrenheit the Blade. It's fun to return to that and just see how much of it you remember. If nothing else, hopefully this will just show you that really a basic level of animation is not too difficult to wrap your head around. Because nothing I've done here requires a rig. Rigging is a whole other technical field, and it takes a little bit of getting used to figure out how all that works. So you've really got to understand a lot more about the technical details of Maya to do your own rigs. Doing this is very approachable. Anybody can do this. Thank you, Chibi. Even if it seems kind of scary, rigging, yeah, I can see how rigging can make you cry. Rigging is hard. Rigging takes a lot of work and a lot of time to figure out how to do it well. Rigging is the process of putting the bones and structures inside, by the way. But what I just showed you, anybody could do. I just stuck some polygons together and then animated them by just moving the controllers around. So any of you can do that, no problem. Oh. I really want these particles to look like fire. It's been a hot minute since I did dynamics. I'd have to actually look it up. I can't remember how to do it. Thank you, Radiant Mistborn. And the worst part is I've not saved the scene file once. So Maya being Maya, this could really break at any moment. I'm going to save it. Desktop. No, let's do it to documents. Udgar. That's fine. Thank you, Queenie Galore. But yeah, if I could remember how to turn these into like fire particles. There is a pre-made hyper, it's called hyper something. What is it called? Hypergraph. It's got a bunch of basically like pre-made particle effects in it. Thank you, Lois. Thank you, Pike. Aw. Hyper. It's not Hyper Shade. That's the rendering editor. Don't look at that if you don't want your head to explode. So Maya also has a very node-based or a node-based rendering setup, and that down there is what it looks like in the nodes, and that's all the different passes of the texture essentially on a shader, or that's on the lights. They're all stacked on top of each other. So just pretend that doesn't exist because you don't really need to know about it for most of what you would do. It's somewhere weird, and maybe they took it out. Shield soars. Effects. Oh, just do a fire effect. Do a smoke effect. Warning. Sprite file is oh, it's okay, hang on. Effects. Smoke. A sprite file must be specified as the sprite image name in the options box. I've clearly never used that before. And it didn't actually create anything, so oh well. What is Bifrost? What is this? They've added this since I've done anything, so this is a whole new world. Boss. Mash. Arnold. That's a render. I'd love to find out what Bifrost is. Object on file. Object on fire. Alright. Cow. Burn. Create. No object matches name. Yeah, I would think that would... Okay, hang on. It did create something. Here we go. Let's get rid of that. Non-deleted burn shape. There we go. Okay. Cow. Where's cow? Where's cow disaster? Cow disaster. Disaster. Yeah, I kind of spelled it right. Cow disaster. Create. Nope. Burn. If I could set him on fire, that would be amazing. I should just stop messing with this, though, because I clearly don't know what the hell I'm doing with regards to any of this. Hey, you tough cat! Thank you, I appreciate that. Omnidirectional point. Directional point. Can't seem to... Got it selected. Transform has more than one possible shape. Could be a source. Please. Oh, okay. I see what the problem is there. Let's name this cow body. And then cow body. I didn't name any of my shapes. That's super bad as well. Got my particle field from here, or is that a different particle field? That's that particle field. Cow body. Surface. Create. Ha 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 ha. Ah! Yes! No! That's a Maya software effect, which is why I can't see it. Yes! My software. Give me to a PNG. 540. No, give me a full 1080. Close. Render. Thank you, Wendino. Good night. Thanks for being here. Alright, hold on. I need to turn the lights down because they're a little overbearing for my software. There we go. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. Still a little strong. Okay, hold on. We'll get this dialed in, don't worry. In my software, 1 is basically like bright as daylight, so I've got so much light on this right now. And then let's tweak the camera here a little bit. Thank you, Elementum. Thank you, Ninja Monkey. Thank you, Mackie Bean. I don't think he looks nearly scared enough, to be honest. Alright, so let's see. This... I need to find the... Where's the burn effect? Alright, so it needs to be on. Because I don't know, he should still be... Well, I guess he'd still be burning when he fell down. Thank you, Psychosis by Osmosis. The light's still super blown out. Do I have... default lighting on? That's probably what's going on. Render settings. It's been... let's see, production quality. Motion blur, yeah. Let's turn off the directional light for a second so we can figure out where this light's coming from, because I feel like I'm getting light that I'm not generating. So washed out. And there's no shadows. I do love the default effects, though. Okay, shadows. Hey, Foxy Doodle. Boy, you stumbled in on something, that's for sure. Where's the attributes? Windows. Attribute editor. Shadows. Depth map. No one likes them, I know. Clean them up. And then, you know, a little bit of that. See how it looks. Thank you, Perrin. Thank you, Beltira. Whoa. Now, really, he'd be emitting light, what with the burning and all. I definitely have some kind of default lighting on. I can't remember where to turn that off. Because it's driving me crazy. So I kill this completely. I feel like he should be much darker than that. 1.05. Give that a 0.2. Hey, I see. It's not dead yet. I'm not gonna mess with that right now. Okay. We get real uptight on him there and get the. There he is, as he burns. It's got some haze that's kind of created, I think, by the effect on the fire. I don't think my hardware is going to be able to render this. Yeah, we just get that. The burn effect is of Maya software only, unfortunately. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I'll have to learn more about dynamics so I can specifically come back and create a more burnt up cow. It does like a post effect glow on it, which is why it takes a second and kicks that in too. You can probably get rid of the particle effect now, because I like this view though. This is what happens when NASA drops by a stream. Suddenly you start launching cows into space. I need to throw a shader on the ground to make it look like he's high above the earth. Thank you, Ninja Monkey. Could I somehow... thanks, Lily Chick. Yes, I think I probably could. That's also true, Ninja Monkey. I didn't need NASA to be here to create an excuse for firing this poor cow into the sun. Meow. Splat. Oh, thank you, Flavor of Love. I don't even know what else to do to it at this point. I just feel like I've really... It started as a cow walk cycle, and this is where we ended up. this. Did I shove a rocket up his butt? No. I did put a particle emitter on his butt. So kinda. Wait a minute, let's get the flying up view. Okay. Focus. I may need to hide this for a second. Oh, where's the layer editor? Boy. There we go. Now we just need the moon in the front. Need a star field and a moon. No. No. Thank you, Ninja Monkey. Yeah, it does fall much faster. That's a good call. The Minecraft moon would be pretty easy, actually. We'll just make a cube. It would need to glow, but... Thank you, Lois. The darts, too. Yeah, I wanted his impact to be kind of quick. That's why he drops faster than he goes up. See how that looks from way over here. I also didn't keep him pointed upwards for the entire journey because he doesn't really need to be. You can't even see the cow just from the glow. I did, Foxy Doodle. It has been a lot of fun. Thank you, Lister. I need to take that glow down a little bit. You'd affect a lot of the way the fire shape looks too, but I'm probably not going to find where that is in the amount of time I've got here. This is blowing it out a little bit. So I would normally adjust the fire down a little bit so it's not quite as bright. Oh boy. Hey, Marie. I hopefully will have something cut together next week. I'm also, they're gonna send me like a thanks for donating thing in the mail, and I like to have that in the video, so it may depend partially on when that arrives. I feel like I've hit perfection with the cow animation. We did the world's simplest animation on the world's simplest rig, which isn't even a rig. And we set him on fire. That's max cow right there. I don't know what else to do with it. Yeah. It is perfection. We started with the dog. with an animatable penis, and we ended up building our own cow with an udder face and launching him to the sky. Hashtag Full Sail. There you go. There he burns. Forever and ever. A Ninja Monkey, now that's a whole other thing. A small ground impact. I mean, I could maybe do a little particle, but the trying to do any kind of impact in the ground. All right, well, let's talk about that. Let's say we make this a little bit smaller. Okay. Now, you can actually, if I remember correctly, set keyframes on just like that. Okay. I would like that to be, there we go. On verts. Okay. So, if I remember correctly, and again, been a while. So right there, let's say we have, this is also very ill-advised. Do not do this. Thank you, Laser. This is the wrong way to achieve this effect. But verts do have transforms, and transforms, I believe, can be keyed. Yeah, they sure can. So, if you were going for a quick and dirty, for one, this would really need to have a lot more geometry in it. I'm just kind of like, okay, and what you can do is you take this, and then you grab its attribute node, which isn't docked here for some reason, which is really strange. That should be part of that. And I believe in here you can... Like, I admonish you that this is absolutely the wrong way to do this, and then I immediately set to showing you how to do it. Thank you, Choskas! Thank you, JT Baston. Thank you, Little Gamer Hell. Yeah. Many of us have had to deal with one thing or another here that's pretty weird. I don't know. This is new to me. I've never seen this tab at all, the modeling toolkit, so that's pretty cool. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? No, that's shading groups. Tessellation. Okay, let's create polygon primitive plane. This little box out here is the option box. So let's give it 50. There's somewhere in the layer editor I should be able to do that, but all right, 50 by 50. So now we've got a lot more geometry there to deal with. Let me get rid of the old one. Sorry, dude. Again, wrong way to do this. Though you can, at times, use animating vertices and attaching them to dynamics for deformation. But I don't remember enough deformation dynamics to do that off the top of my head. I'd have to refresh myself on it a little bit. But let's say right there at the point of impact, what we could do right there. Okay, so it's at 101. And then let's just grab some verts kind of under where he hits. Like right here and right there. I'm just holding shift to select more than one. This isn't, if I added more geometry here, this would look better, but okay. Just pop this down a little bit so it's like he slams the ground hard enough to dent it. We're going to key that. I should have keyed it before that in its not there position. So I'm going to do that. So, bang. I also need to drop him down a little bit because now he needs to settle into... You can barely see that deformation, but he needs to be like in it a little bit more. So, I mean, if I render this, you'll probably be able to see it a little bit better. Basically, yeah, you can barely make it out, but because there's no texture on it, it makes it much harder to see. Oh, this is where all my render windows have been going. I can make it more pronounced. That might be the best way to do it. Anyway, so there are always, like, solutions to those problems. I need to make it more varied, too. That's part of the issue. So, let's give that down a little bit, then let's give that down a lot. Like it's really getting pounded into the ground. Thank you, Nilo. It should be kind of uneven, not so uniform. It really pounds it. It's a heavy cow. Really knocks a hole in the earth. Oops, not that one. Okay, so I'm going to grab all those. And I really should have... Need to fix them now. I didn't set a key on them. That's also another bad thing I did there. Let's see which ones are out of place. There is a way I could actually grab all of these and snap them at the same time. You'd have to adjust the tool settings so that it doesn't keep the separation between the different vert heights. But because there was a few enough of them right there, I don't even remember which ones moved, so I'm just gonna have to grab all of them and set a key there. All right, so Bip, there we go. Now he really slams the ground. Again, because it's just flat gray, if I assign a new material, let's make it something with a little bit of shine to it, like a Fong. You might actually see this a little bit more. Nope. But boy, is it there. Hey, Sky. Hey, diddle diddle, Ryan animated a little and Udgar jumped over the moon. Ryan gleefully laughed to see Udgar burn while the chat couldn't help but stay tuned. Thank you, Sky. Well done. Anyway, so that is how you could animate him divoting the ground. If you had something other than just a flat color on here, it would actually kind of show up. Let's see, repeat it. Let's say 15. So now you can kind of see it a little bit more. Do a big Yamcha crater. There we go. Now you can see he's really messed the ground up when he hit it. Whoosh. Whoosh. It's funny how a little bit of texture can really make it so that those things are visible. Oh, actually, I already had what I wanted. Oh, there. Let's make it a little bit more... So a Fong is basically kind of more like a plastic. It's a little bit more specular. It's a little shinier. Because this is my software, we could actually have reflectivity on it, so you could see a reflection of him in it. But because we've got my software, it doesn't do reflections as the renderer. Also, I feel like it's gotten very dark again. I feel like that should be specularizing more, but oh well. Maybe just because I don't have enough light shining more. No, it's pretty directly on it. If I forgo the let's see. I don't know what this will look like in Arnold. This will be interesting. Thank you, username. What username? Oh, it's given the burn effect a shadow because it has no geometry. It's a geometry, I guess, as far as it sees it. Thank you, Joscas. Yeah, I could do that. You get more of the lighting looks better there, and we might actually be getting some reflection now because it's in Arnold, which Arnold should be able to render reflections. I would guess. Maybe the first time I've ever rendered something in Arnold. Let's turn off this burninating thing for a second. Give me the... There it is. Put that on a layer. There. Probably should have dented the floor where he landed, too. Hey, you get a little bit of reflection there. Actually, that's a nice reflection. So Mental Ray used to be all about ray tracing, which is, if you've seen any, yeah, look at this nice leg reflection there. Where's that? No, that's a drop shadow. I don't know. Is there also a reflection? I've got color bounce there, which is pretty cool. Let me crank the light up a little bit. I'm geeking out about this a little bit because it's doing a lot of things that were actually kind of hard to do in Mental Ray. Mental Ray being a renderer that was very expensive to do things like global illumination or reflections, soft shadows, things like that. But that was really kind of the only way to get it. Global illumination is how light interacts with things in the sense of it would send out virtual photons that would bounce off of the object and then reflect onto things. So what that does that you don't think about in your typical experience is the color of something that light bounces off of is then transferred to whatever it's reflected to. We got some chunkiness here, so I'm guessing that's maybe it's I need to turn up the render settings to clean that up. But so light's hitting the utter shape here, and it's bouncing and reflecting down here a little bit. So that's actually pretty cool for that to be that quick of a render in that. I wish I knew how to turn this up at all. Ray depth. So that's your ray tracing elements right there, essentially. Usually it's just like a, hey, make it prettier default, but I guess maybe not so much here. Do an environment to it. Light linking, this is important, but is a whole other thing. Initial sampling level. I bet this would turn up the quality. So that chonkiness that you're seeing there usually is because if you're sending less rays, less photons, the number of rays you send kind of determine how smooth the lighting effect is. So if you see how kind of pixely it is in this area. It could be because there's not enough rays hitting it, which would cause it to be gritty looking. Like, for example, here we're sitting 10 rays, but I don't know how this render works. So taking it up to anything above that could potentially just explode it. We may have just turned the render time up to something ridiculous. We didn't. It does look cleaner. Yeah, look at how much better that looks now that I turned the rays up. You got so much cleaner color. Let's see. It does increase your render time, though. As you'd imagine, because it's, if you want a good, clean render, you gotta spend the render time. Now, there's your utter beast. I really do I'm gonna have to learn Arnold. I mean, I don't know anything about tweaking it, so that's why it's so rough right now, but just my bumbling around in it, turning things up willy-nilly, has already really made it... I can see the elements of the renderer that Mental Ray would have cost me a lot to do. So these are the depths of the different rays. Hey, Psychosis. How would you do something like a lightning strike? Honestly, depending on what you're talking about in terms of the lightning strike. So if you're talking about just, let's say you wanted it reflected in something, you could do it a few different ways. Off the top of my head, I would say you could almost do it as like a sprite, because essentially a lightning strike is 2D as much as you experience it, right? You're looking over there and it's just like a blinding light flash. So you could just pop a light sprite in the environment, and then in post you rendered out the reflection out in layers, and you can blow that out to make it look much more blinding. And that way it would be reflected in all the environment, because anything that you just injected into the world like that, it would naturally just pick it up as a reflection. That would maybe be the easiest way to do it. You could probably do the whole thing in post, though, much simpler. The reflections would be kind of a bear, but I think typically that would be post-production would take care of it. Is my body pillow sold out? I don't know. Is it? I think they sold out at RTX. But I don't know if they're sold out. Nate has 12 of them. I guess. Yes, they are, and don't ask how I know. All right. Thank you, Kokotaru. I'm really curious, though. I'm sorry I keep messing with this. I just want to see if I can get that. The initial sampling is what I changed here, and that seems to be at the low end. So let's see if I take that up even further. Is that going to get rid of the remaining artifacting I'm seeing? No, that almost made it worse. Interesting. So the ray depth had a lot more effect on it than the initial sampling level. And again, this is definitely, I'm just not familiar with how to optimize this render. My optimization knowledge is all Mental Ray. So everything I'm looking at here, I'm just like winging it. By the way, this is one of those weird things about Maya. So the bar, let's say, see, it goes up to 48. Just, you type in a bigger number, and then it's like, oh, okay, sure. Now your new bar is that big. So, don't let the end of the bar deceive you into thinking that you can't keep going. So I turned that up to 30. Now it's sending a lot more rays, so it's a lot heavier render. That's still not doing it. Alright, I'm just not optimizing this properly. Yeah, I need to learn. I need to learn Arnold so I can properly render Udgar. Was there any other questions about animation? It's probably about time to wrap up. Is there any other questions I can answer? Anything anyone's curious about? We've done very basic. Like I said, I feel like if you can get software package, anybody should be able to do what we just did. Because it's all. I mean, you need to learn the hotkeys and things like that. But can you make it a GIF? Yeah. See the full animation? Okay. I mean, I can render the whole thing out, yes. Switch it back to... uh-oh. I don't like this spinny thing. That's probably bad. And get rid of this particle effect because I'm not really using it. Okay. Let him burn for a second. There we go. So it's 140 frames, which is a really odd number. So 120 would be... Let's see if 120 looks too short. And probably what I would do is actually, if I was... Alright, so here's what we would do. If I was planning this out as a scene, and I would do this in separate files, but... So we'd have the blast off. He leaves frame. And then right about here, we'd actually go back in time a little bit to there. Let me just create. What I haven't been doing that you need to make cameras. I'm really concerned by this. Still getting the spinny here. View. Where's look through selected? Look at selection. I want to look through selection. Okay, view, panel, perspective, camera one. Okay. All right, so here's camera one, which has our. He's blasting off. So really, I only care about camera one. Oh, no, I can't move that because I've made it so that he dents it. Oh, well. All right, so he goes whoosh. Give it a little bit of frame in here. Okay, so cow, Udgar blasts off. So that's that camera. And then let's create a camera. And then I'm going to take this camera and I'm actually going to put it on. I'm going to attach it to the cow. Or I'm going to put it in the cow group anyway. There's look through selected. All right, so there's looking down the barrel of the cow, basically. All right, so I'm gonna take that camera and I'm gonna actually now okay. Here's where my memories get again shaky. But what I want to do is I'm gonna do what's called a parent constraint, and I can't remember if it's you select the cow first and then the camera, P. Nope, that was the other wrong way. So it'd be the camera first and then the cow group, hit P, And now that camera will go with the cow. So if we look through selected, we now have cow cam as he's blasting off. So I would start with camera 1, get him blasting off, then we'd cut to cow. I feel like I need to back this off a little bit, maybe a little tight. Cut to cow flying, burning through space. I need to widen it up a little bit because I'm not getting any of the fire. And then we ride that as he burns into the sky. And then probably it'd be kind of nice to just cut back to camera 1 for him hitting the ground. So you'd have camera 1. I may have to reposition camera 1 a little bit. But so camera 1, cow blasts off. Switch to camera 2. We're riding the cow as he burns into the sky, and then switch back to camera 3 for the end of the story, which is the cow didn't make it. So I think that's how I would render that scene out. I need to insert like a sky and a moon, so you can see him burning into the sky. So he looks very dark. He just is on fire. Because I didn't let it play, so he's not so much blasting off as just stewing in his own flame. But that's how I think I would render that. If you guys are interested, I will actually take the time to render it. I'm not going to do it this second because it'll take a while. I will render the animation. I'll spend the time to set this up properly. We will get a fully rendered animation in my software of the cow that blew itself to the moon but didn't quite make it. And I'll put it up on Twitter. How long is a while? This is 120 frames long. Most of the frames won't take that long, but render time was 3 seconds, so 3 seconds times 120. So 360 seconds. So, I mean, not that long, but I still need to do, it needs like a sky dome, essentially. So I need to set that up first, and then render it with the view of the actual sky. He needs the moon, yeah. But I will set that up, and maybe tomorrow when I get home from work, I'll spend some time cleaning it up and sending him to the moon. Okay. All right. Thank you, all that name. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks so much. Thank you, Chibi, by the way. I have him walking and saying now he's falling to his death. Okay, look, NASA showed up. I like that that's my explanation. NASA was here. Thank you, Nix. And then the cow went from walking to going to the moon. But he missed. Thank you, Saber Swan. Thank you, Glad Aligned. Yeah, exactly. See, it wasn't my fault. NASA made me do it. They stumbled in. I don't know how NASA came to be here. I never saw them say anything. But hey, I have some of your shirts, and I like them. Also, I'm a big fan of space. Thank you, Violet Steam. Uh, I can't if I want to, Shadow. I don't know if anyone would. I can't really make an Udger plushie, what or poster. What with it being a mostly Minecraft owned property. Um, but it may live on in fan uh, artwork as much as you would like. Make all of the fan art you would like of Udger. You be free. Alright, let's see. Let's do a bedtime story. Thank you, everybody. Again, this is all tying back to another charity thing that we did, Extra Life. This was an Extra Life stretch goal. Thank you for contributing to Extra Life. I promise we're still rolling out everything else before November. Thank you, yes, Bucket. I still got to build a Gavin Annoyance device and a GTA cosplay stream and... Is that it? Am I down to just 2? That would be cool. And a Deadpool bad advice stream. So I've got 2 cosplay streams. Yes, Bucket. I am also painfully out of practice too. It comes back to you pretty quick once you get rolling, but boy, does it take a while. That's it though, right? We've got Gavin Annoyance device. I'll look for that, Lucas. Thank you. Gavin Annoyance. I can't. I mean, I will happily look at the shirt design. I'll think it's cool, but I can't actually sell merch. Due to how my agreement is set up with RT, so it's going to be a cool design, but I can't make it. And thank you, Firefox. Yeah, so I think it's just those 3. I could do the Gavin Annoyance device in GTA cosplay, but I think part of that was I said I'd play GTA while in GTA cosplay. Thank you, Matter Splatter. I just made a cow of Matter Splatter. Alright, let's do a bedtime story and call it a night. Thank you again for everybody that's contributed to any charities. This Extra Life, the thing I just did earlier today for American Cancer Society, you guys are amazing. I can't say it enough. You greatly impressed everyone in how much that you managed to raise. All right, let's see. This is Jeremy. Not that one. It says in parentheses. Requests Cold and Shivery, a monologue by D.M. Larson from the play Losers in Love. Interesting. Hang on. I'm reading it because it's a monologue. And I'm trying to determine what the tone of it is. Okay. I have to do it. It's very panicky, but the kids are asleep, so I can't do it that loud. Thank you, Emily. I saw it, a ghost upstairs. I did. It was floating around, all spooky like. I think it touched me. I got all cold and shivery, and I wanted to scream, but when I opened my mouth, all I could manage was like a little squeak. I was frozen with fear, and I thought it was going to eat my brains or something. Oh, wait, that's zombies, ain't it? Well, it was going to do whatever ghosts do to me. I could feel it doing something. There's something really creepy like. You want to go see it? Are you scared? Are you too scared? You ain't as brave as me. No, I spilled a drink on myself, okay? I am not a liar. You go up there and see for yourself. Up there is an honest-to-goodness, real, scary ghost. I may have lived to tell about it, but will you? Monologues. Cold reading monologues. Theater. Yeah, I know. I tried to keep it down, but I lost it a little bit there. Ghost. Okay, that's it. Everybody go to bed. Or if it's daytime where you are, do whatever you do in the day. Oh, thank you everybody for joining me. Hope you have a wonderful evening, day, whatever. Goodbye. Good night, everybody.